Okay, everybody, welcome back. I keep promising to do other books, but I keep finding more Bailey School books in the depths of my home, and so I keep pulling them out. So today we're going to do the Bailey School Kids. Pirates do ride scooters. Beep beep. And away we go. I was thinking about this. I'm sorry, I'm just going to take a minute here. I was thinking about this. With all the things that happens in Bailey Elementary, well, just in the city, what haven't they touched on? Even the Yeti had a moment. So I just had the thought the other night, and I'm going, is there like a sock monster that we're unaware of? Does he like chill out somewhere in the back? I don't know if they ever did anything with goblins or gnomes. I mean, maybe I'm giving somebody the chance to like reboot this. But so, that was just my thought. And yet again, it is so incredibly dark, and I do not understand why. It shouldn't be this dark in this area, I promise. So we're gonna have to figure. I gotta get like a light or something in front of me. This way, it doesn't look so dark. But really, we know how this goes. We should all be comfortable and calming down and listening with our ears. Just relaxing. I say listening with our ears like we were going to do it with our nose. But you get my point. This way you can close your eyes and just relax. So, without any further ado, pirates do ride scooters. Chapter 1. Vroom. Liza, Melanie, Howie, and Eddie stopped in front of the gates to the pool. Too early, Eddie yelled. This is terrible. A big lock hung on the gate. It says their hours are 10 to 7 on the gate for the Bailey School pool. I can't wait to practice water polo, Melanie said. Practice, Eddie said. That sounds like work. It will be fun, Melanie said. You can really slam the ball. Eddie thought about slamming the ball over the net. He dreamed of sending it clear to the moon. Maybe it will be fun, Eddie said. Oh boy. We all know how Eddie is. Eddie waved his water noodle through the air. I'm ready for summer full of splashing fun, he said. By accident, he bopped Liza on the head with the noodle. He poked Melanie in the back. He smacked Howie's books out of his arms. Howie loved to read, even when he didn't have to. I have to laugh because they call it a water noodle. We always called them pool noodles. And just recently, at work, one of the handles on our broom, it's wood, had a whole bunch of splinters, but the broom itself is in great condition, and my sister didn't want to throw it away, so she went and bought a pool noodle to put over the handle so you couldn't get a sliver. Multiple uses for pool noodles. There you go. Liza grabbed the noodle before Eddie could swat her again. Stop, she told him. You'll pop my float. Lots more people joined the kids at the gate. Tall people, short people, big people, and small people. Everyone wanted to get into the cool water. Suddenly, they all heard a loud noise. Vroom! A scooter roared into the parking lot. The scooter zoomed towards the pool. The scooter squealed to a stop beside Melanie, Liza, Howie, and Eddie. It was bright red with a big skeleton between the handlebars. A very tall woman hopped off. She took off her helmet and hung it on the handlebar. A black banana covered... Banana. Yes, a black banana. No! A black bandana covered most of her head. If you have a banana that covers most of your head, that is one big banana. Okay? Long curly red hair popped out below it. Wow. That's a lot of hair, actually. She pulled a key from her pocket of her leather jacket and looked at her watch. Arr, she said as she unlocked the gate. I'm late out of my way. Ooh, I don't know about being, a pirate. Definitely does not sound happy about being late. So we're just going to let her have that. Chapter 2, Nut. It's a peanut, by the way, they show a picture of a peanut. I'm Last Minute Molly, and I'm the boss of this here ship, the lady barked at people streaming past her and through the pool gates. Ship? Eddie asked. What ship? He waved his water noodle. It came very close to bopping Molly on the head. No monkey business, Molly said as she pushed the wild noodle out of her way, or you'll be walking the plank. Eddie grumbled. What kind of nut is she? She's no nut, Howie told his friend. She must be the lifeguard. Lifeguards keep things safe. They don't allow running, they don't put up with silliness, and they don't allow fighting. Lifeguards have to be serious. Yes, they do. Well, she looked like a nut to me, Eddie said. Molly did look a little different. When she took off her jacket, they saw that she was wearing a striped bathing suit that hung to her knees. It's like an old-fashioned bathing suit. Just then, last-minute Molly stood at the edge of the pool and yelled, "Shark!" I don't know why. It's a pool. Chapter 3. Shark! Kids ran left, kids ran right. Kids smacked into each other. Last minute Molly stopped them all by blowing on a whistle. That whistle sounded like a parrot, Molly said, but none of her friends were listening to her. They were... Melanie said, Molly's talking to herself now? I'm sorry. That whistle sounds like a parrot, Melanie said, but none of her friends were listening to her. They were looking in the pool for a shark. We should get help, Liza whimpered. Call a shark fighter. What? I'm sorry. I know these books are for fun. What is a shark fighter? And if there was such a thing, would you want to... I wouldn't want to fight a shark. I'm good. No thanks. Wahaha. Last minute Molly laughed so hard, tears trickled down her cheeks. You landlubbers are just too much. There be no real sharks lurking in this pool. But you yelled shark, Howie told her. That I did, Molly said, looking at Eddie's noodle. It's time for a little water game. Not all are lucky enough to have pool toys. We want fun for one and all. Game. Count me in, Eddie said as he pushed aside a few kids. Then listen to me rules for the game of shark, Molly said. Rules? Rules? What doesn't Eddie like? Rules. I don't need rules, Eddie said. Molly looked Eddie square in the eyes. On my ship, there be rules, she said. Now listen up, matey. You'll be walking the plank. The rest of the kids listened while Molly told them how to play. One person is the shark. The others swim from one side of the pool to the other. If the shark tags you, you become a shark too. The last person to escape the touch of the shark is the winner. The kids jumped in the pool to play, everyone except Liza. She stood on the edge, clutching her float. Hop on in, Molly told her. The water is fine. I can't swim, Liza told her. Molly scratched under the bandana. Not to worry. You can make sure they follow me. Eddie didn't like rules. He just wanted the game to start. He pushed past Liza and jumped into the pool. Liza teetered on the edge of the pool. She tottered. She started to fall. Help! Chapter 4. Walking the plank. Well, what do we think happened? Molly grabbed Liza around the waist just before she kerplunked into the deep end. Sorry, Eddie told Liza. Molly pointed to Liza. You should learn to swim. I can teach you. Then Molly pointed to Eddie. You, she said, will be walking the plank. Molly led Eddie to the diving area. The rest of the kids followed. Everyone wanted to see Eddie walk the plank. Oh boy. Walk the plank, Melanie said. That sounds bad, very bad. At the diving board, Molly stopped. She whispered into Eddie's ears. Eddie watched towards the end of the board. Time out, he cried. I can't be given a time out. I just got here, Eddie groaned. He frowned. He whacked his noodle against the diving board. Bam, bam, bam. Eddie shook his head. He wanted to play in the pool, and he wanted to play now. He slapped his noodle on the surface of the water. Eddie smiled and dipped the long purple toy into the water. He blew on the other end of the tube. Squirt. Water flew all over the pool. Squirt. Water blasted onto Howie's books. Oh, no. Squirt. Water zapped Molly right in the eye. Oh, boy. Chapter 5. Fine. I was reading the next lines. Chapter 5. Mean as a pirate. The kids stood outside the pool the next morning, waiting for it to open. Last minute Molly is mean, Eddie said. She's meaner than the school secretary without her coffee. No, Melanie gasped. Nobody is that mean. I don't remember the school secretary, but apparently she is not a happy camper. She's even meaner than a pirate without a treasure, Eddie added. Molly isn't mean at all, Liza said. She saved me from falling into the deep end of the pool. She said she would teach me to swim. Melanie bounced her ball off of Eddie's red hair. She told me she would teach us how to play water polo. Okay. A loud noise made Melanie drop her ball. Rum! Rum! Screech! Last minute Molly squealed to a stop next to Melanie, Liza, Howie, and Eddie. The lifeguard popped off of her scooter. Molly pulled off her helmet and hung it on the handlebars. That's when Melanie gasped. Oh boy. Chapter 6. Smuggled treasures. Are you okay? Liza asked. Do you have a fever? Howie asked. Did you swallow a bug? Eddie wanted to know. Melanie pointed a trembling finger at Molly's rush to the as Molly rushed to the gate. It's not a bug. It's her. Same scooter, Eddie said. Same silly swimsuit. Same crazy hair. Then Molly looked over her shoulder. That's when the kids saw the big black patch. I don't know if you guys watch things like Mythbusters. I know they're older. They've been out for a while. But they talk about why pirates wore an eye patch if there was nothing wrong with their eye. And the myth is that they wear an eye patch over one eye to keep it in darkness all the time, so that when they went below decks in old time, when there was no light, maybe candle was the only light that you would use, you would have perfect night vision in one eye. That's what they said. Melanie pointed a trembling finger at Molly. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to change the page. It was her big black patch. Eddie, Howie whispered, you did hurt her eye. I didn't mean to, Eddie told his friends. All the kids went up to the pool gate, but Molly held up a hand. Wahaha, she laughed. Not so fast, my little fishies. Before you get in the water, I'll be a-looking through those beachy bags. What? Asked a kid with a soccer ball peeking out of his bag. I'm looking for contraband, Molly said. Contraband? The girl repeated. Is that a music group? It is something you put on a cut? Someone else asked. I think it's stretchy rubber you put around paper, another kid said. Pretty funny, actually. Last minute, Molly peered down at the kids with her one good eye. Contraband is smuggled treasure, she told them. I plan to teach you a little bit about one for all and all for one. Now open these bags, or you'll be walking my plank. Chapter 7. Pirate Tamer. Pirate Tamer. It's right up there with the shark fighter. I don't want it. I'm good. Molly peeked into each kid's bag. She plucked out all of the water toys. She pulled out balls and bats. She snatched dolls. Now, what is a doll going to do? Can she do that? Eddie gasped. He was thinking of the water toy he had buried in his beach bag. That's not fair. Melanie pulled her friends away from Molly and closer to the pool. Eddie is right, she told them. What are you talking about? Liza asked Melanie. Eddie is never right. He is this time, Melanie said, because last minute Molly isn't a normal lifeguard. I think she's a pirate. A pirate? Yelped Liza as she backed further away from Molly. Melanie grabbed Liza before she tumbled into the garbage can. Perfectly reasonable, answer to run away backwards and fall into trash. Eddie pretended his noodle was a sword and gave it a big swoosh through the air. Look out, I am Sir Edward, the pirate tamer. Alright, now it's making a little bit more sense about the pirate tamer portion. You can't tame a pirate, Howie said quietly. Why not, Eddie asked. Because pirates aren't real. They are just in books. They don't live in Bailey City, and they definitely don't ride scooters, Howie said. Pirates do ride scooters. At least this one does, Melanie said. But if it's proof you need, then it's proof you'll get. What kind of proof? Liza asked. Meet me here at dusk and you'll see, Melanie said. Why would she still be there? She gets to work late. What made you think she was sticking around all night? Chapter 8. Hot on the pirate trail. This is a dumb idea, Eddie said. I would rather be eating ice cream, catching bugs, and playing video games. Eddie and his 3 friends stood behind the pool trash cans with their bikes. They were waiting for last-minute Molly to leave the pool. Okay, fair. She's still there. I'm going to prove that we have a pirate problem, Melanie told Liza, Eddie, and Howie. Oh, boy. Finally, last-minute Molly locked the gate. She had a giant bag over her shoulder. She has our treasures, Howie whispered. Molly put on her helmet and climbed on her scooter. Luckily, last-minute Molly could go very fast because of the big... she couldn't go very fast, rather, because of the big bag. Melanie, Liza, Eddie, and Howie hopped on their bikes and were hot on her trail. They pedaled up hills. They pedaled down hills. They rode and rode and rode some more. Finally, last-minute Molly parked in front of a house on the Red River. Okie dokie. Come on, fingers. The kids darted behind the trees. They hid behind bushes. They followed Molly around to the back of the house. I told you. Eddie blinked his eyes to get a better look. Liza gasped. Howie slapped his cheeks. I told you so, Melanie said. Chapter 9. Mutiny. A boat was tied to a dock behind the house. That wasn't any boat. It was a ship. Okay, sorry about that. My son screamed, I gotta come in here. Chapter 9. Mutiny. A boat was tied to a dock behind the house. This wasn't just any boat. It was a ship. Ack! Molly's late. Molly late, a pirate screeched. Molly tossed the sack on the deck. The pirate hopped on her shoulder and pecked at Molly's ears. It won't be long, my pretty, Molly told the bird. Not long, not long, the parrot repeated as they went inside the house, leaving the treasure on the ship. Uh-oh. Now, do you believe me, Melanie asked her friends. Molly looks like a pirate. She acts like a pirate. She even has a ship and a parrot. Last-minute Molly is a pirate, and she won't stop until she has all of our summer treasures. No, gasped Eddie. We can't let that happen. Exactly, Melanie said. Follow me. Melanie led her 3 friends onto the ship. Now, this is a bit odd, because normally it's Eddie that's getting them into trouble. They found the bag full of summer toys. Melanie found her ball. Howie found his book. Eddie found his noodle. Liza found her float. Just then, the kids heard a terrible sound. Molly and the parrot were after them. Ack! Mutiny on board! Mutiny on board! Chapter 10. Splash. Melanie screamed as the parrot swooped over her head. Howie ducked. This is what Howie looks like. Oh, I'm going to take my sunglasses off here. Eddie swung at the bird with his noodle. He missed, but he did hit Liza's back. Liza's feet slipped. She grabbed for the rail, but she missed. Whoosh, splash, kerplunk. Liza fell right into the Red River. And remember, she doesn't know how to swim. Help, Liza can't swim, cried Melanie. Ack, screeched the parrot. Ack, screeched Howie and Eddie. Suddenly, last-minute Molly dove into the river. Hold on my shoulders, Molly yelled. I'll pull you to shore. Eddie, Melanie, and Howie waited on dry land for Molly and Liza. Molly placed Liza on the shore and headed towards her scooter. Why did you take all of our treasures? Called Howie. You can't get away with this, Melanie shouted. We know you are a pirate. We'll tell the police, Howie told her. Ah, police! Police! The bird squawked. Arr, Molly said as she climbed onto her scooter. This isn't the end of last-minute Molly. I'll be back. Her pirate soared away from the boat and landed on her helmet. Together, they zoomed away. Okay. We did it, Melanie said. We saved Bailey City from a toy-stealing pirate. I'm not so sure, Liza said. She pointed to a sign on the side of the boat. Could it be that last-minute Molly isn't really a pirate after all? She did save my life. Shipmates for Kids Toy Drive. That's what the boat is for. Melanie, Howie, and Eddie stared at the sign. She looked like a pirate, Howie said. She acted like a pirate, Eddie said. I have some toys I could donate to the toy drive, Liza said. Melanie nodded. I do too. Let's just hope we're safe from pirates once and for all, Eddie said. Never, Howie said. Not as long as we're in Bailey City. And that's the end of this book. Another one down. And tomorrow I have to be to work a little early at a different location. And depending on what time I get there and I start getting things set up, I may have time to start a new book. So maybe you guys will get to see, the inside of a different office now. But so hopefully everybody has a good night. I hope that everybody's having a good summer so far. I know ours is coming to an end very soon here. We have a couple more weeks. We go back at the end of August. And I hope everybody's having fun, though. Honestly, I hope you've had plenty of time with your friends and you've been goobers. So everybody have a great evening. Bye.